Bon dia, bonjour, good morning, صباح الخير. Desde Barcelona,
It's a pleasure to welcome you from all over the Mediterranean region as well as the rest of the world. Here we have leaders from different institutions, key from Barcelona, that will be sharing with us their ideas about how international companies can use the unique role of Barcelona in order to open new horizons to the great region of the Mediterranean. Barcelona is the big hub to the Mediterranean area. It is unique and different to any other site. The commercial relationship from Barcelona to other parts of the Mediterranean make them key to this important relationship, commercial relationship. And I'll give the floor now to Tony Fito. We're sorry, but we cannot hear him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We've lost again his voice. We are sorry, but we cannot hear the speaker. For me, it's a pleasure to be here with all of you in this thinking forum or reflection forum. I don't think it's a question of the mic. I'm here, somebody else. Sorry. I'm sorry. There is an interference. I'm hearing somebody else, a lady speaking. So, as I was saying, it's a space to talk about the advantages of Barcelona for becoming one of the key cities of the Mediterranean area. We have to face the new challenges of innovation, research, development, just to mention some of them, and find new ways of economical growth. This is a perfect moment to have Barcelona to consolidate their role in the international arena and in the Mediterranean area. And let me talk about my city. Barcelona has all the ingredients to be the leader of this trade. We have all the infrastructures to be opening to new markets and to consolidate the ones existing. We are a reference model of exchange, dialogue, and integration. That's why from the Commerce Chamber of Barcelona, we want to foster Barcelona as a global referent. Barcelona has all the tools necessary to be the leader of this regionalization initiative. We have the Union for the Mediterranean and the ASCAME here in our city to help us, and it's the site of most of or many multinational companies. We have the harbor for merchandises and for cruises. We have logistical centers. And we have the Zona Franca and Mercabarna, which is allowing us to be the leaders of the regional leadership. We are a center for international conference. We were the fifth city in the world in number of conferences, at least before the pandemics. And we have services, products, and organizations that will allow us to get into the 21st century market. And this will allow us to make bigger the interest of international companies and organizations in the Mediterranean area. Our idea is to create a network with a real and concrete impact on all companies, big and small. And it has an important role to play at the national and regional level. We have showed several times that Barcelona is a network of entrepreneurship with small and medium companies, allowing to the economical growth. I would like to highlight as well that Barcelona is a getaway hub, which is a hybrid between the international globalization and the national response. So multinationals and small and medium companies can choose Barcelona to get to neighborhood markets because we are in the center of the Mediterranean area and to Europe. Barcelona will become a leader at the international scale. So it is time to promote all the opportunities like the one we are living today, working hand by hand with our partners. This is all of the partners sharing with us the Mediterranean.
For joining us today. It's a great honor for the Barcelona Chamber of Commerce to host this conference. And last but not least, we look forward to meeting you in person, to welcome you again in the city, in this house, your house, shake hands, and enjoy dinner together as we used to do before the pandemic. Hope to see you. Thank you very much.
Gracias. Thank you, Mr. Ito. And now, Mr. Ahmed Wakil, President of ASCAME.
Good afternoon, Excellencies, partners, friends, the Vice President of Barcelona Chamber, Mr. Anwar. Welcome to the second day of our Barcelona 15 Meda Week. Barcelona, the beautiful city, capture more value and new business opportunities in our Mediterranean. Let's not forget the cities are magnets for business, people, talent, and innovation. They drive the world economy. The 600 largest cities account for more than 60% of world GDP, and in the top 20 are hosting a third of the global large companies and almost half of global revenues. Cities are in constant competition for talent, investment, and visitors. Talent without borders create value. Create value and diversity is a booster of the economy. Cities are careless of innovation and entrepreneurship. Therefore, they must safeguard their image, and building a reputation has become a crucial issue. In a world driven by the transnational flow of people, capital, and ideas, the race to capture them is difficult. Those who bet on creating competitive environments innovate by turning their attraction into products will win generate valuable activities, seek high levels of satisfaction, facilitate efficient logistic network and services. Much has been said and surely will be spoken of Barcelona, its model, its image in the world, its present, but above all, its future. The city has impressed the world with its creativity and capacity of growth. Barcelona, with its strategic and decisive position in the Mediterranean and its model, a reference of exchange, dialogue, and integration. It has the scope and the ambition to shape not only the world of economics, but also to be its model, its capacity to create culture of exchange in the Mediterranean. Barcelona has the natural base to cover or expand its expansion in neighboring market as a hub for the entire Mediterranean region that covers three continents, Africa, Asia, Europe. Barcelona can and must be in the Champions League to get exited again and excite the inter-Mediterranean. For what Barcelona is doing and will do is a beacon for all other Mediterranean cities, inspiring our Mediterranean to grow and flourish. So let's walk the talk and embark together on concrete action. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad Al-Wakil. And now, Ms. Victoria Alsina, Minister of Foreign Action, Government of Catalonia.
Molt bon dia a tots, president, presidenta.
Good morning, all ladies and gentlemen. I would like to congratulate the organizers of the Meta Week. This 15th edition shows the engagement of Catalonia in a space that we feel identified with this common space, which is the Mediterranean. This site, the Llotja de Mar, it's a 14th century building which is iconic for all of us. Catalonia has always had an international willingness in trade. And internationalization starts in our house. It's our goal for all of us. And that's why today we are celebrating the Day of the Mediterranean, the common culture we all have around the Mediterranean area. To this date, we celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Barcelona process. And in the future years, we are going to celebrate the 18th of November as the Mediterranean Day. Catalonia is a Mediterranean country. We want to be present and influent in this region, in this reference framework. We want to reivindicate the Mediterranean Sea and a region we have to preserve, and we want to organize common events and common actions with the rest of the countries. Our country is a dialogue country. Catalonia is the connection with the European Union and with the Mediterranean region. We want to keep talent, and Barcelona is a real hub for the Mediterranean, a privileged hub, and that's why we want to foster this capitality of Barcelona as a Mediterranean hub. We are fostering research centers around the Mediterranean.
Compartint el repte d'assolir un model de creixement més inclusiu. Tenim un capital humà cada cop més format, però això sovint no es tradueix en oportunitats i en ocupació de qualitat. En especial, en el cas dels joves i les dones encara ens queda molt camí per recórrer i, evidentment, és font de descontentament per tots. Compartim la voluntat de caminar cap a una realitat més verda, més digital i una economia circular, blava i social. A més, la Mediterrània és una de les rutes més transitades del món, al voltant d'un terç de la marina mercat mundial creua cada any la nostra mar. De fet, hi ha algunes xifres que m'agradaria destacar-vos. La regió mediterrània és la principal regió d'atracció turística del món. De fet, el port de tot el Mediterrani amb més passatgers de creuers és Barcelona, amb més de 3 milions l'any 2019. Amb dos ports, Barcelona i Tarragona, trens d'alta velocitat, un aeroport internacional i autopistes connectades. Però encara podem millorar les connexions. Per això, les inversions són imprescindibles. Entre les nostres prioritats hi ha la de dotar-nos de les infraestructures necessàries com el 5G i el corredor mediterrani. Per últim, la xarxa logística pot ser de 400 milions de consumidors a Europa i la nostra situació és privilegiada. I és per això també que empreses internacionals com Amazon han escollit Catalunya per instal·lar-hi el seu hub.
As you know, we in the government of Catalonia have a platform where we check the competitiveness and innovation of our country. In our department, we also run projects to work on a project called Catalonia, a country of data that will help us face comprehensive challenges around the Mediterranean. Data will provide us with information and will help us make decisions on how to face the challenges faced by Catalonia and the world in the post-COVID area, and it will help us resuscitate the Mediterranean economy. Thank you for your attention and enjoy this conference.
J'ai imaginé un style d'architecture qui imite l'architecture, qui imite la nature et qui n'est pas de ligne droite, où l'inspiration pourrait provenir de tout rêve, où l'architecture connectée, l'art et la technique, qui se focalise toujours sur l'avenir. J'imaginais une terre où tout serait possible, où tout ce que ces gens imaginaient pourrait être vrai. Cette terre est la mienne, elle est la Catalogne. C'est la créativité, la recherche, l'engagement, l'éducation et le travail dur. Une terre ouverte au monde et aux défis de l'avenir qui mélange l'entrepreneuriat avec une mentalité ouverte et l'adaptation au changement. Une terre basée sur un passé industriel et un présent technologique, avec une grande diversité de secteurs, un écosystème de start-up avec un grand potentiel, attirant pour le commerce international et des infrastructures de haute qualité qui se connectent à tout le monde. Une terre qui embrasse l'avenir est l'endroit parfait pour que les idées deviennent une réalité. un système éducatif qui favorise l'échange de connaissances entre des divers gens, une force laborale très avec beaucoup de compétences, avec une grande capacité d'innover et une grande capacité de travail. Et avec une capitale qui gagne la course contre toutes les autres capitales. Barcelone, un point de référence de dynamisme. Ça, c'est ma terre, la Catalogne, où la terre et les gens ne cessent jamais d'imaginer un avenir meilleur. Catalogne, la terre où tout est possible. Merci, conseiller Alsina. Et maintenant,
now, Mr. Damian Calvet, President of Barcelona Port.
Thank you, Anwar.
I imagined a style of architecture that
I want to
imitating
thank
nature.
the organization for inviting the Port of Barcelona to this Mediterranean Week of Economic Leaders with this title that we are using, which is a future in common. So if we talk about a future in common in the Mediterranean area, we shall not forget that we also have a future in common talking about the planet, because we have sustainable goals in common with the whole planet, and the position of the Mediterranean must not forget that we are part of this planet. And if we talk specifically about the Mediterranean, of course we have to talk about ports, about the ports, what they mean, these infrastructures which are key for logistics. We've been talking about logistics a minute ago, the importance of this economic sector. Let me explain you that the Port of Barcelona it's a port which is highly diversified. We almost have all kind of activities that a port can have, and our figures are huge. There are more than 500 companies within the port. We have 37,000 people working every day in the port, but we indirectly we have a labor mass of 205,000 people working. So that's roughly the 7% of the labor market of Catalonia, and
we are moving goods, 73 million euros per year.
Roughly 3,500 million euros. That's 1.7% of the GDP. So this is what the Port of Barcelona is, and what the Port of Barcelona can add to as an added value to our economy, and of course to all the Mediterranean area. We want to be a smart port, which means that this port, the Port of Barcelona, has to be, of course, sustainable. It has to be multimodal. This is very important for sustainability also. Of course, it has to be agile, that means efficient. It has to be resilient. Logistics has shown itself as a very resilient activity. It has been the basic thing that has been used to solve the pandemic, for instance, moving goods every day. And of course, also transparent. I want to add that we have the community, the port community, in the board of the Port Authority. So this means that we are highly connected with the people, the companies, and the people that work in the port. And the port, of course, is connected with the city itself, with the city of Barcelona. It's connected, for instance, with Mercabarna or the Zona Franca, which are important institutions that add to the we want to be used by all the Mediterranean players, or we want to be connected with all the Mediterranean players in order to have this future in common. Port of Barcelona is all of this. It's containers and ferries and cruises. We've been talking about cruises. The minister has explained that the Port of Barcelona is the #1 port in the Mediterranean for this important tourism industry. Port is also fishermen and nautics sector, which is very powerful here in Barcelona. But we must not forget what we are in essence. We come from the sea. We come from this past in common, which is the Mare Nostrum. We have this present that we are describing through this panel, but what we want to have is this future in the Mediterranean. The port want to be at your full service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Calvet. And now, Mr. Pau Solonias for Barcelona City Council.
Thank you very much, Anwar. Thanks to ASCAME for the leadership in organizing once again this 15th edition, and thanks to you also, particularly for your commitment. Let me share with you 7 basic ideas, and not talking about Barcelona, even though I'm representing here the city of Barcelona, and somehow many of us we are doing so, but sharing with you what is our vision about the Mediterranean from Barcelona. I think it has a certain interest how we see the region. The first one is that looking into the future, we have to recognize that the cities should be one of the main actors for this new reaction, new recovery of our economies and our society. So we're talking about the region. Many times we talk about the state cooperation, regional cooperation, but we have to give to cities the central role that it deserves, because they are the place where social progress it takes place. Changes are mainly pushed or done by the cities. In that sense, I think that there are 3 main challenges: the digital revolution, the climate emergency, and the new reindustrialization of our territories. So we need new cities as the new actors, and cities, resilient cities adapted to the challenges that we have in the 21st century. The second idea is that the region needs a smart specialization. We cannot do everything. We cannot be leading everything. So we need to identify what are those areas where the Mediterranean can be competitive and to be inserted in the value chains, in the global value chain. A few of them. Digital economy, and obviously startups, creative industries, creativity, the visitors economy, that is much more than tourism, the visitors economy, industries 4.0, health and biotech, the green economy and proximity economy, local economies, reindustrialize or re-economize our cities, and the agro-food sector that I think my colleague Valls will talk about it. So a smart specialization. My third point, what we need for that? We need to make possible that the Mediterranean is a platform for business, to be a region business friendly. And to be a region business friendly, we need something more than declarations. We need some actions. We need a common economic diplomacy. We are in a sense, we are competing among ourselves, but we should cooperate. So we need a common economic diplomacy. And we need to have a smart strategy of attraction and retention and dynamization of talent. In the region, we have talent, but we have to take care of talent. And we have to train new talent for the new challenges that we have, especially for the new economy. My fourth point, we need to be an open and connected region. Open, it means to have physical infrastructures like ports, airports, etc., but also to have the digital infrastructures that we have, and we need also to reinforce our social structures, that our civil societies follow the vision that we have for the region. And because without them, will be very difficult to be a competitive, sustainable, and equality region. My fifth point, I was talking about business-friendly region, but we have to be also a friendly region to live. We cannot attract talent if our region is not a good place to live. This means security issues, conflicts, but also what is our answer to the climate change challenges. The Mediterranean is probably one of the regions that is more in danger. We can lose up to 30% of our GDP if we do not react. So we also need to invest in being a friendly region to live, because our reputation is also in the game. We need to be a reputed area and not an area of conflict. So we need to invest also in reputation. My sixth point is that we have an extraordinary opportunity with reshoring, the relocation, with all the problems what we see with the logistic chains. I make an example. Well, many companies are thinking to come back closer to Europe or to the region. This is an opportunity. There are companies like Inditex, a textile company, that already the 60% of their factories is already in the region, Portugal, Spain, and Morocco. Okay? So relocation, and if we work together north and south, we can be competitive again. So we have an opportunity that we have to profit. And my last point, what is the role of the institutions? We should lead process. We should create the conditions in order the Mediterranean becomes a platform for business, for a platform to live, but we should not control everything what is happening. There is always the temptation to control the processes. Innovation is about freedom. Innovation is about creativity. Innovation, it takes place in the fringe, not in the center of the institution. So we need to open spaces in order that our young people, our women, our entrepreneurs can develop their ideas. So I think this is the role of a city of Barcelona, to create a platform for business, a good platform to live, and I think the cooperation and competition can bring us an opportunity to make the region, again, the center of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pau. And now, Ms. Trinidad Pofarull, Foreign Direct Investment Director of Catalonia Trade and Investment Agency.
Thank you very much, Anwar, and thank you to ASCAME and the Barcelona Chamber of Commerce for inviting us. I very much agree with Mr. Solanilla, and in fact I would like to take on his words to speak about the attractiveness of Barcelona and Catalonia for international companies. Before that, let me introduce ourselves. I belong to an agency of the Catalan government called Acció Catalonia Trade and Investment. What we do is we work on competitiveness for local companies and also our ecosystem. We do foreign investment attraction. We've been doing foreign investment attraction for 30 years now. And it is thanks to our contact with international companies willing to establish their activities in here that we have learned what is the attractiveness of our region, of our city. And I would like to share that with you. The first point that I would like to explain is that we are an industrial region, a manufacturing region. Catalonia has 19.8% of the GDP in manufacturing. Usually people know us about for our touristic activity, but we are also manufacturing. In fact, we have a very diversified industry. There's no sector that accounts for more than 17% of the industrial activity. Agri-food, automotive, chemicals, textile industries, life sciences are the most important one in our regions. And there is a big opportunity related to reshoring manufacturing activities, as Mr. Solanillas was mentioning. All sectors are moving into sustainability, into digitalization in order to be more competitive. And that brings gaps in the value chain that we in Catalonia want to fill with local companies evolving for sure, but also with international companies, top international companies coming here to do their manufacturing activities. Number two asset I would like to point is that we are a tech hub. In the past years, we have added a layer to these manufacturing activities, and this layer is technology. Not only our research centers are doing a great job, we are attracting startups from all over the world, but also big companies have choosing Barcelona and choosing Catalonia to put their hubs. We were speaking a while ago with some colleagues in here about PepsiCo, for instance, putting their global tech hub in Barcelona, not in the US, but in Barcelona for the whole world. Microsoft has done the same thing. We would love to see other companies from the Mediterranean come and do that in here, and we are ready to help. Number 3 would be logistics. Mr. Calvet has spoken about our good position in the south of Europe and in the Mediterranean. We don't only have a position, we also have the infrastructure, we have the different means of transportation that make us a very interesting intermodal point for Mediterranean companies willing to set a point from where they can expand into Europe. And last but not least, of course, talent. Talent. Our local talent from our 12 universities. We have people who are entrepreneur, people who speak a good level of languages, but adding to that, Catalonia is becoming a magnet for international talent from all over Europe and the Mediterranean, and we have to take care of that talent, and we have to continue being this pole of attraction that helps to make us very competitive. So these are our attractiveness. Last thing I wanted to explain is that we have success cases. In fact, right now we have we are working with 500 companies, with 500 investment projects. Every year we land 80 of them, and we create 3,000 jobs, new jobs in Catalonia. So I would like to offer our services and also the services of the Chamber of Commerce. I know Marino Riols will speak after me. In fact, they come first. The way we collaborate is they act as a landing platform for companies willing to establish in here, willing to use this platform that Barcelona already is in order to open commercially into the European markets, establish a first team in here, and after that is done, after the companies need to go further and maybe set up a first logistics center, some assembly activities, manufacturing, then it's us who can come and help. So I just wanted to invite you all to explore what Barcelona, what Catalonia can offer to the companies listening to us and offer our support. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bofarriol. And now, Mr. Marino Riols, International Director of Barcelona Chamber of Commerce.
Moltes gràcies. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much to all the organizers and the panelists. I was thinking to explain you in detail about the service that we are promoting right now, but I think that I will like to introduce that I think is very useful. So when we are talking about the Mediterranean, I think that there is something that is a common link, and the common link is the trade. So more than 2,000 years ago, a colony was founded by in this case, by the Greeks. The name is Emporion, that was located in Catalonia. That was the first, let's say, official distribution point between, let's say, the two sides of the Mediterranean. It comes to a point that I think that we have to put in value the trade. So just following a little bit the conversation and the introduction of the different panelists when we are talking about how all the different possibilities that we have in Barcelona, infrastructure, talent, and so on. So there is a point that sometimes we forget, and the point is that to do everything, trade, business must be there. So now at this moment, so the Barcelona Chamber of Commerce is introducing for the first time of a service that will help not only the Catalonian companies to do business abroad, also we are willing and to help any company in the Mediterranean and also around the world to use Barcelona as economic platform to introduce their products and service in our region, and not only from to our region, also to help them to sell in the rest of Europe and the Mediterranean economies. So the Barcelona Chamber of Commerce has a large institutional network. We have an institutional network worldwide. 2,700 Chamber of Commerce is our card of representation. Just in Europe, we have 1,200 Chamber of Commerce, and we have a local service and advisors and so on that will help us in this adventure. The name of this program is Landing 360 Sales Platform. So, and in this case, so we are able to supply any kind of services that the company will need when they are pretending to do business in our region. Market survey, market research, looking for distributors, looking for agents, looking for pricing information, not only in Barcelona, not only in Catalonia, not only in Spain, for the rest of Europe we are taking care. So this is a very innovative service that we provide. We have a team with a high level of specialization, ready to support all these kind of activities. And we want to bring and we want to offer the possibility to do all this introduction using Barcelona and all the infrastructure.
We want to use the infrastructure in Barcelona. As said, we have a wonderful port in Barcelona.
Also, the Barcelona City Council supporting these kind of activities. We have Acció that after that, if the companies, they will to do any kind of investment, for sure they will help in any single stage. And now at this moment, so the Barcelona Chamber of Commerce is willing to promote, as already I mentioned, in this way. So we are welcome any SME from the Mediterranean area to join us, to discuss, to be helped from our side, and became, well, the Europe another important market for them. So this is our value proposition today, and we thank you very much the possibility to offer and introduce this service today. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Oriols. And now, Ricard Zapatero, International Business Director, FIRA Barcelona.
Thank you, Anouar, and thank you, ASCAME. Congratulations for this 15th anniversary of this so important Meta Week. I am here representing FIRA Barcelona. FIRA Barcelona is an entity which is in charge of organizing all the exhibitions and conferences that are done in Barcelona. But I am also representing a little bit the importance of what are exhibitions and the possibility of making business among all the people who are joining those events, which are very important in the Mediterranean area. From Barcelona, we are also, that relies on me, we are the president of the major exhibition centers in Europe. So today, that's an association called EMECA, which Barcelona is leading, and that we are trying to do the best to bring business back to reality. FIRA Barcelona is one of the major exhibition organizers in the world, and of course, of the Mediterranean. Our shareholders are the city of Barcelona, the government of Catalonia, and the Chamber of Commerce, which is a very good example of how public and private work can be successful. We have a portfolio of more than 60 events, and we are organizing global exhibitions known around all the planet, like the Mobile World Congress for mobile telecommunications, or ISE for audiovisuals, or Alimentaria for food and beverage, or ISPAC for packaging, or Motor Show, or Boat Show, or Smart City Expo that we are having right this week, where we are putting together all things that Mr. Solanilla has explained before about new technologies and how cities can be better for all the citizens. Why are exhibitions important, and why they are so important in the Mediterranean region? Because of many things, but the most important ones is having real business opportunities, putting people together that could be done online, as we have done and we are doing now, through this pandemic season. Let's call it season because we want, of course, to have the season over as soon as possible, but mainly to put people together in a presential way. Putting people together face to face, because business is so important when you are building trust. And you build trust among people when you can be face to face and where you can discuss and where you can touch and smell each other. And this is where you are having business. And exhibitions are bringing business opportunities, real business opportunities, among all the people coming from different countries in the Mediterranean area. We have been organizing events in Fira Barcelona, also in some Mediterranean countries like Casablanca or Istanbul, and the real feeling of our Mediterranean touch, of being together, of being around one table and discussing things is what make real business coming through. Second thing, why exhibitions are important is because of sharing knowledge. Those conferences, not only about business, but knowing about the best practices, what people are doing on one way or another to make it right or make it wrong. This is when you go to an exhibition, how you learn about new protocols, about new procedures. It's about new learning, new knowledge. And the third one, but not the least, for us as a city, as Barcelona, as a region, as Catalonia, as Fira Barcelona as an entity, is bringing real economy impact to the city and to the region. We are organizing like 60 shows every year. We were organizing and we will be organizing back. Our calendar now is fully booked for the end of 2021 and for 2022. So real face-to-face exhibitions are back. So this portfolio of events, there is a study that we do every year that says how much money is being spent in the region, in the city, because of our exhibitions being made here. And it's 4 billion euros, 4,000 million euros every year, which are spent in the city and in the region because we have these exhibitions and conferences happening. There are people who are hotels and restaurants and taxis and business which are done. This is something that the pandemic has affected a lot and that we all want to get back, because that's real real richness for a city. And this is how many Mediterranean cities are also being very important on that. Cities, as I mentioned, Istanbul or Casablanca or Amman or Cairo, they are so good at bringing people together that we have to get all those exhibitions and business back. We are so glad to welcome all our visitors here in Barcelona. We welcome them in the most friendly and warm way, and this is a great place to make business. Exhibitions are a great place to find new people and find new business opportunities, and we will be looking forward these new months to come to welcome all our Mediterranean friends and our Mediterranean partners. So thank you very much, and looking forward to our collaboration.
Thank you, Mr. Zapatero. And now Mr. Jordi Valls, the General Director of Mercabarna.
Okay, thank you very much to invite Mercabarna. I will try to explain a little bit what's doing Mercabarna, but itself is a food market, wholesale food market with a strong relationship with different countries and different producers and traders in both parts of the Mediterranean Sea, at the same time in Europe and the Central Europe. But probably one of the questions I want to put on the table today is what happened in the last 15 years? Today we celebrate 15 years of this summit. The world changed in the last 15 years, of course. And what more important events today the planet have, and what these events can affect us? In my point of view, there are two important events. In terms of Europe, Brexit. In terms of planet, COVID. And both are really important and probably opportunities for us. Let me discuss first in Brexit. The Brexit in reality is 18 million people is going outside of the European Union, but UK political force is outside of the European Union. In terms of political and geopolitical strategy, that means the central of Europe is moving to the north, to the south, and east. One of the questions when we discuss east is discussions about the important border with Russia, and this is a political discussion, and at the same time, important discussion with Poland and the other east countries regarding the human rights. That happened. Europe right now it's moving in a political way to the Central and the South Europe, and this is a big opportunity for us, because right now when we discuss about the planet and we discuss economical regions, we discuss not the states, not regions as Catalonia or autonomy or country or state. We discuss about geopolitical regions. We discuss the importance of the Mexico-US border and Canada. We discuss about China-Pacific. We discuss about Russia. We discuss about Africa, Latin America, and Europe. And here we have at least an important presence in Europe and the Mediterranean. When we discuss about region, geopolitical position and region, here in Barcelona, I think it's important to discuss about Italy, France, south of Europe, and Mediterranean. And for us, this is an important opportunity in terms of funds, in terms of political presence, and in terms of trade and trade relationships. Second question for me is COVID. What happened with COVID, after COVID? First, important disruptions, logistical disruptions. Countries and European and regions and world region right now are thinking about how we can reinforce our supply chains. And the only way to reinforce our supply chains is try to put more close our producers and consumers. And that is a big opportunity for us. When we discuss us, we discuss about Mediterranean region and European South region. When we discuss about food, for example, Catalonia and probably all the countries, it's not enough the capacity of production of the food to provide the consumers. But altogether, when we discuss Catalonia, we discuss Spain, we discuss together and put together Italy, France, Morocco, Egypt, and the Mediterranean, we are one of the most important places to produce food. And food is one of the questions right now, is in a fragility position. COVID for me put on the table one question. Before COVID, everybody think energy, it's no problem, no question. Food, it's no question. Logistic, it's not question. And right now, everything is under question. Everything, every question right now are under discussion. For me, this is a big opportunity for us, and we have to work for this opportunity. To work together, first, when the companies, industrial companies, and European Union having one of the focus and the main goals is try to reindustrialization of these countries. It's not reindustrialization only European Union. It's try to approach the logistic change more close. And here, Mediterranean countries can play an important role. This is one question I want to put on the table. The second question for me is COVID. And the last one I think it's important to discuss is what kind of a strategy different countries right now are in the middle of in the Mediterranean border. What question right now the world are discussed? We discuss energy. And one of the questions in Europe when we discuss energy is in the Mediterranean Sea. We discuss food. And one of the questions we have on the table right now when we discuss food is the relationship between North African countries, Brexit, UK, when we discuss about fish, and European Union. And the third question, I think it's important, it's migrations. Migration is important for Europe. Right now, one of the big news we see in the radios and the TV is Europe have strong problems to recruit people, to hire people, to become drivers, to become members of the construction in any place. When we discuss about tourism, we have this problem. And we are in a position to training the people, not in a position, we have to do. Because if we don't have people to work, with enough capacity, we have problems. And this is one of the other questions we have to discuss together. And for me, I think it's a good opportunity. 15 years pass, and the scenario we had 15 years ago, it's different. And the opportunities today are strong. And the question is if Barcelona want to play a role in this discussion, and this is an important discussion. We are in the border. When we discuss the border in Mexico and the States, we discuss about the people. And of course there are people, but there are creativity. And there are important trade relationships. Here happens the same. We have a discussion about immigration, but at the same time we have an important trade together, and we have the big opportunity. When we discuss the border, sometimes we discuss about the separations between countries. But when we discuss about the border, we have to discuss about the connections between countries. And I think this is opportunity today, Barcelona, and the play and the role that Barcelona can play in the future. And probably one of the questions it's important to discuss when we discuss the relationship between the European Union and the Mediterranean Sea and all the countries involved. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Valls. And now Mr. José María Martínez Sierra, General Director of Barcelona School of Management.
Thank you so much, Chair. Thank you so much to the organizers of this melting together and getting connected through the Mediterranean. I have a living experience of what to choose Barcelona, to choose this part of the world. I've been born and raised in Madrid, which there's a lot of conflicts so far soccer is concerned. And there's last 10 years I've been in Boston at Harvard University, which is, as you know, is one of the big knowledge hub. My role here is to talk about the knowledge triangle and to give you an impression about what Barcelona has to offer. So my personal decision, and it's been the decision that other firms, like they've been mentioned already here, like PepsiCo, Microsoft, or Amazon, and some global firms that choose Barcelona, know as the regional, but rather as a global hub, has to do with a lot with the knowledge triangle. Has to do the asset in education, in research, and in knowledge transfer, innovation, and so on and so forth. So before that, I'm almost the last one in the panel. There are some things they are not my topics, but I want to recall about the strengths of Barcelona and this region. One is the healthcare system, which is really important when you choose a hub. The other one is, and this is also really important, the rule of law, stability. So far, norms, rules, fiscal conditions are concerned. And the third one I would like to emphasize, and I don't recall anybody mentioned, because is so far gender, sustainability, and a city with a human face. In knowledge and education, research and innovation, Barcelona and the region is the 3rd or the 4th in the OCDE and the European Union in terms of women insertion, and probably this is the reason why we are doing better in this part of the world. So far, education is concerned, the first axis of the knowledge triangle. We have mostly a public system, and the relation quality price is astonishing. If I tell you about the fees in the, I'm here at Pompeu Fabra University, which is around always in the top 10 of the Times Higher Education ranking for young universities, in the 50 under 50 ranking. And if you compare the fees of this or any other university here with the fees of Harvard or MIT, it will take your breath away. The relation quality price of the education here is astonishing. Hard to believe, and that has to do a lot with the public investment in higher education in Catalonia, and also what Barcelona as a hub means. If you took the metrics of the 2020 strategy, the European Union launched 10 years ago, Barcelona universities and Barcelona centers of research are top of the list in terms of the number of higher education, tertiary education achievement in the European Union, and that's of course what is most attractive to firms, to leaders, those of you who are thinking, they're try to do things here or use Barcelona as a hub to connect with other parts of the world. And here, what Jordi has previously said about, from a geostrategic point of view, it's important to think in a Mediterranean hub how Barcelona is going to help to connect with the southern part of this side of the continent and the other side of the continent, the other side of the Atlantic, both in North America or South America. If you go to, since we have been a meeting of leaders, if you go to top business schools are also in this city, and that's why, because this city is concentrated in aggregation. So the big cities, and in Boston, this is like half of Barcelona, and you have in Greater Barcelona, you have like almost 200 higher education institutions, and in Barcelona it's growing. That's a good thing. The more knowledge, the more talent, the more highly educated people you have, the better. Of course, then leaders have to tackle how you reinitiate the cycle or reset the cycle of skills. But the concentration of a skill, the concentration of knowledge is always a good thing. And sometimes you may have a problem with the right set of skills, but it's easier to solve that problems if you have a fair amount of that in your city. In Barcelona, that definitely is the case. If you jump to the second essence of the knowledge triangle, research, Barcelona, Catalonia is top 10 in the world so far research is concerned, and it's 10 times less in population. So there's a concentration of knowledge so far research is concerned. And that's, as you know, it's essential when we go to solve, you want to solve your firms, your ecosystem want to solve big problems. And the pandemic is being the last sample of that in order to solve that. And you connect that with the PPPs, with the public-private collaboration, then again, this a culture is a pretty innovative culture insofar, and the way that both different, the connection of the civil society here in Catalonia is pretty unique. You compare with other parts of the world, the connection with a public system, with firms, with the Chamber of Commerce, and it's pretty astonishing the number of business, social, and public institutions that are collaborating. And so in research, and then again, here some of the ideas that have been mentioned. Brexit also put the continent and put this knowledge system in good conditions to go for European and international competitive funds. And then again, think about Barcelona and the region as a partner to go to chip in European international projects. Since in this region, through different research programs, is getting basically in the key programs is getting 10 euros out of the one that the public institutions are investing in research through competitive projects. So different programs, European, so the CREA program here in Catalonia, this is a really driving force so far research is concerned. And last but not least, I want to stick to my 5 minutes. So far, knowledge transfer and innovation is concerned. Although I was there in Kendall and MIT for many years, Barcelona has always been a reference. Both has the city's been restructured and is an urban hub. So it's really more sustainable, more efficient than a great hub as you may have in San Francisco and Salt Lake City, that you have to get there by car, and all the investment have to be outside resources. Here, you have the hub, the firms, and the universities in the city, so around the corner. And that's combined with, of course, the quality of life that we all share in the Mediterranean. See, all that will be my 5 cents so far knowledge triangle is concerned. I'm sure we will have the opportunity to elaborate later on in the comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martinez Sierra. And now Mr. Josep Maria Balcell, partner at Todanello.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you to all my colleagues in the panel. It's a pleasure for me to make this very short presentation, and really I'm the last, and hopefully not the least, who will address one of the, in my opinion, probably a crucial issue we should always consider when investing abroad.
So we have been discovering Barcelona and Catalonia as a good place to invest and develop business. But last but not least, law is a critical issue. I'm a lawyer in a Barcelona law firm, and the more and more the internationalization of the activities impose us to be open to other cultures, other legal practices, other ways of doing. I think Barcelona and Catalonia and Spain in general is a safe harbor for businesses. Safe harbor from a legal standpoint. And all the challenges we have been discussing before and the goals to increase trade, to increase business are not possible unless we have a stable and solid legal framework. I probably may summarize my approach to the current situation of the Spanish legal market by mentioning four or five features or characteristics of the Spanish or Catalonian environment. First, as I mentioned before, we have a stable and solid legal system. That would include not only the legal profession, lawyers, but the legal system itself, so that the courts work well, the notaries work well, and most of the operators in the legal system are operating and acting with sufficient efficiency and good work. That would obviously bring stability for any investment in Spain and in Catalonia in particular. So we are an open market, and we, as mentioned, have a stable and solid legal system based in solid and stable institutions. Not only that, but our law is also quite modern. We are obviously based in our constitution of 1978, but also based on the rule of law, democracy, and the European Union principles. So we are, in general, a stable legal system with a stable modern law. And I refer especially in concepts like corporate law, contractual law, and everything that concerns trade. So investors will find in Catalonia a stable place to put their money and to make business. As mentioned before, trade and business is the glue that joins the European and the Mediterranean countries. And I think that in the last 15 years, probably, our culture has been working closer and closer. Today in Barcelona, you can find people coming from everywhere in the world, from different cultures, different spirit, different languages, and different legal cultures. But I would say that in the last 15 years, our exposure to international trade has developed our own culture to be open to the new developments. So startups or specific new businesses are in our natural culture today. So that's, I think, an important characteristic to mention, that we have increasing experience in the legal sector. We have developed extraordinary and good skills based on the international law practices. So, I mean, we are accustomed to work in all kinds of transactions in an international atmosphere, obviously in English or in French or in other languages, to basically prevent conflict. And I think this is the first obligation of a lawyer, to prevent conflict and to facilitate business. So we are not trying to generate more conflicts or go to courts, but basically to facilitate business and good opportunities for the companies and investors in Spain. So that's basically my contribution, just to mention that, as was pointed out before, there are some specific sectors that I think the City Hall representative has mentioned that have Barcelona as a highlighted hub for the future, and were already mentioned, but I want to insist on them because new industries, startups, digital and innovation, health and biotech, especially pharma and chemical industries, are very strong in Catalonia, and with a very relevant hub and important network of small and medium-sized companies that could also help foreign investors to find their ideal partners as providers or as clients to develop their business in Catalonia. So other industries like agro-food or the clothes industries that are developing in recent years. So all this mixture or blended industries, I think, creates an ideal scenario for investors to come to Catalonia. So thank you for listening us and your attention, and open to respond any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Balcell. And well, we have some questions, but the time is the time, and only we make one question for all panelists, I think. How international company will take advantage of Barcelona is unique role to capture new business opportunity? Mr. Marin?
Well, thank you very much. I think that already I mentioned, so at this moment here is a fantastic platform, especially the SME. So we understand that multinationals already, they know and they have many different possibilities. But at the present moment, so we have, let's say, and today is an example in this panel, so we have all the institutions well represented, willing to help, willing to support, willing to go in one direction. So at this moment is the right moment. I was listening with a lot of attention the intervention from Mr. Valls. I think that I agree totally with you. I think at this moment we are facing not a threat. I think that we are facing a business opportunity. And I think that if we have the chance, as we have today, that all the institutions and the most representative, let's say, companies involved in this part of the world, so we are able to work in the same direction, I think at this moment so is a fantastic opportunity to work together and to provide really help and support to companies willing to do business in this part of the world. And I want to say that I think is a great opportunity as well for Barcelona, because we are ready to lead. I think that in this opportunity that we are facing, so Barcelona has the possibility to become the leader and to lead this role. So that's my opinion today.
I would say that a lot of things have been said from many perspectives, the law perspective or the city council perspective, the regional government perspective. What I would like to say is that, as Mr. Riol has said, is that all of us are collaborating in order to offer these conditions, territorial conditions, sustainability conditions for hosting new investments and fostering these investments to the Mediterranean and the world. Our kind of leadership, which we have, being Barcelona, it's not, let's say, a ravenous leadership. We always want to share with all the other countries from the Mediterranean area, and I would say from the planet, this vision. For instance, we are hosting the Union for the Mediterranean, so that's a sign of the kind of leadership that wants to have Barcelona. Or, for instance, we have been right now celebrating. We are celebrating the Smart City Expo, which has a worldwide dimension. And this is not just taking advantage of our positions, but sharing our position and our knowledge, our talent throughout the world.
Thank you. Just briefly, because I think that we have shown how many assets we have in the region and both in the city. But I think that Barcelona has something that only a few cities all around the world has. What Barcelona is an emotion. And emotions are the energy that is moving the world nowadays. The city branding of Barcelona, the branding of Barcelona is a plus for a company. And I think that this is one of our best scars. Our reputation is good. To meet together a company with the city branding of Barcelona is a win-win. And I think not many cities in the world can say that Barcelona is a good place to be.
You were speaking about opportunities. I just wanted to say that these opportunities are transforming into reality right now here in Catalonia. The electrification of cars, the transformation into plant-based meat instead of to complement the traditional food sector, and a long, etc. So I would just recommend to come and try, no?
OK. Bon. Avant de finaliser, nous avons essayé de...
Before ending, we have tried to present or do the presentation card of the opportunities for companies, but also for the first time, we've gathered the representatives of the most important institutions in the town of Barcelona and of Catalonia. And before closing, there's a video of presentation on this opportunity, I think.
أشكر الشركات التي تابعتنا من الدول العربية. Agradecer a los miles de empresas.
Thank you, companies watching us online. At 3 o'clock, we'll resume our conference. Thank you, speakers, today with us. And we'll carry on last year, but face-to-face. Thank you.